My NHS Nightmare. Chapter 10. Do you ever feel like life's a hamster wheel? No matter how fast you run, you're stuck in the same exhausting loop. And let me tell you, after the surgery I had in September 2022, it was less hamster wheel and more circle of hell. The wound was on the right side of my backside, and every step, every movement reminded me it was there. It was impossible to ignore, although I certainly tried. For the first few weeks, I had to see a nurse every day to clean it. Dignity? That ship sailed back in Chapter 1. By the time we hit Chapter 10, every nurse in the area had seen my bum. One even took a photo. For training purposes, they assured me. At this point, I should have charged admission. Sitting down, not a chance. Even now, 2 years later, it's still not an option. Then came the infections. The wound became a revolving door for bacteria, and with every new infection, my pain got worse, like bowel cramps on an endless loop. And then there was the toilet. Some days I'd be in there 20 times. I half expected the plumbing to demand a raise. Life narrowed to 2 rooms, the bedroom and the bathroom. And pain, always pain. This chapter isn't really about me. It's about the people who are affected by what I'm going through. Maybe you are one of them. At my lowest, I started thinking about ending it. Not because I wanted to die, but because I couldn't keep living like this anymore. I had a plan, all neatly laid out. But then something stopped me. Love. Love for the one person who truly loves me, my wife, my soulmate. How could I possibly do that to her? I came to understand that pain doesn't exist in a bubble of suffering. It ripples out, affecting everyone it touches. My pain spread out, touching not just me and my wife, but everyone close to us and beyond. Friends, family, even people we don't know. I think about the nurses who looked after me as best they could, but ultimately felt helpless. What suffering they must see, not just mine, but countless other patients too. Mine isn't the only ripple of pain. There must be millions around the world. No wonder there's a collective sense of hopelessness. Perhaps ripples of love exist too. And if they do, maybe they can counteract the ripples of pain. My NHS Nightmare. Chapter 12. What do you do when you've given up on life? Somehow, I had to keep going. For my wife, if not for myself. But after everything I'd been through, I was too scared to face another medical procedure. I was told I couldn't access further treatment without another biopsy. Another biopsy? After the post-biopsy chaos the last time, how could I even be expected to consider it? Stalemate. Of course, surgery was always on the table. But the same surgeon had already warned me, no guarantees. After my gender surgery, regret wasn't a risk I was willing to take again. It's only temporary, they said. Temporary fixes? Permanent regret? No, thank you, I thought to myself. Regret was a risk I wasn't willing to take. I had enough regrets already. Things were getting nowhere, and my faith in NHS healthcare was fading fast. It didn't feel like care anymore. It felt like a battle. All I wanted was to get better. I felt like I was being abandoned because I was scared. Desperate, I poured my heart into a letter to my consultant. His reply, I'll tell you in the next chapter. This chapter doesn't end with everything fixed. I'm still here, still fighting. And if you're struggling, I want you to know you're not alone. Thanks for listening. See you in the next chapter.